This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Friday, the 9th day of March in the year 2018. Here's what we're tracking this evening. State Minister Joe Harmon this afternoon told reporters that the president has still not made a decision on who will take charge of the Guyana Police Force as its next substantive commissioner of police. Questioned by journalists at his post-cabinet press conference, Mr. Harmon said as it is now, there is an acting police commissioner, but there are also a number of excellent officers who could fit into the police commissioner's role substantively. Assistant Police Commissioner David Ramnarayan is currently acting as the police commissioner. He has taken charge of the role since the retirement of Police Commissioner Silal Prasad just over a week ago. Mr. Harmon also told reporters that the government would like to see the National Assembly fast-track its process for the setting up of a new Police Service Commission to deal with other appointments.
I believe that the committee, which is chaired by Dr. Norton, has met and they are required to make their submissions to the National Assembly, and then those recommendations come to the President. We have urged that the National Assembly gives this more attention so that we can have the Police Service Commission constituted in the shortest possible time.
The Guyana Police Force currently has a number of assistant police commissioners but no deputy police commissioner. President David Granger is responsible for the appointment of the substantive commissioner of police following consultation with the opposition leader. There is no need for agreement in those consultations. News source understands that the president has already been examining the records of a number of the leading candidates for the top cops position. Turning our attention now to the oil and gas sector, laws surrounding the oil and gas sector are taking center stage over the next 2 days at a training and development conference organized for members of the Judicial Bench and the Bar Association. With these seminars taking place across sectors, members of the legal profession believe capacity building within the legal fraternity is needed as Guyana prepares for oil production starting in 2020. The conference was initiated by Acting Chancellor of the Judiciary, Yonat Cummings Edwards, in collaboration with the Acting Chief Justice, Roxanne George Wiltshire, and it has been welcomed by the government.
Enormous interest has been generated indeed. Boardrooms, meetings, chief executive officers, all of them are discussing Guyana and its oil find. And we in the legal profession must do likewise. We are proactive, we are eager to learn, we're eager to sharpen our skills and embrace the oil and gas industry.
We welcome the criticisms. They sometimes sting, but they are necessary because they keep us busy, they keep us on our toes, and they keep us sharp. And they remind us that this is what lawyers enjoy doing.
The Chancellor also said the conference was a perfect opportunity for members of the legal profession to sharpen their legal skills in oil and gas through education. Over the next 2 days, participants will hear from several distinguished presenters, including the Deputy Dean of the Faculty of Law at the St. Augustine campus of the University of the West Indies. And still with the oil and gas sector, with direct guidance from the President, government is pushing ahead with the establishment of a special Department of Energy to administer the affairs of Guyana's oil and gas industry. The new department will fall directly under the Ministry of the Presidency and will focus solely on the petroleum sector. But although the way has been cleared for the establishment of the new department, a quintet of ministers will come together to decide on several aspects of the functioning of the department. The ministerial group will look at matters relating to the structure of the department, legislation to be introduced, negotiations with potential investors, exploration and other license, engagement with technical experts, setting up the Sovereign Wealth Fund, and review of fiscal contractual terms, among others. Since the coalition government took office, the Environment Department was moved from under the Ministry of Natural Resources and placed under the Ministry of the Presidency as a department. Minister Raphael Trotman remains the Minister of Natural Resources but will assist the group of ministers to choose someone to head the Department of Energy, and that person will report directly to the President. However, Minister of State Joe Harmon will have gazetted responsibility for the department and will lead the way in reporting on the department's performance to the National Assembly. And finally, this evening, the Guyana Rice Development Board has announced that it has dispatched a team of extension officers to investigate reports of worms that have infected the roots of rice plants in some villages on the Quarantine Coast. The investigative team is being headed by entomologist Dr. Vivian Baharali. Farmers between number 63 and number 68 villages quarantine have been reporting an apparent invasion of the plant hopper, which is a known pest of rice. That invasion started last month. Farmers were initially advised on methods of control, but now farmers in other areas are reporting on the invasion of worms that have not yet been verified. The farmers are claiming that the worms have affected the yields of rice ready for harvest. The Rice Board's extension officers have verified the presence of the plant hoppers in the number 63 to number 68 areas, and in that regard recommended measures of control using systemic insecticides. Farmers are now being advised to rotate the use of insecticides if more than one application is required. Farmers may also contact the respective extension officers for advice on issues of control of the plant hopper as the probe continues into the presence of worms. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting. Have a good weekend.